Wall Street surges on Friday to finish a very strong first half of 2023 with the Nasdaq posting its best half-yearly gains in 4 decades. Stocks in the Asia-Pacific opened mixed while the SGX Nifty has transitioned to the GIFT Nifty index, which is reflecting a higher start for the Indian market. Brent crude settles about 1% higher at about $75 a barrel on Friday, but oil prices have now declined for the 4th straight quarter. Expectations of further rate hikes also see gold register its first losing quarter in the last 3. Maruti's compact car sales and Hero Motors June deliveries miss estimates with stress seen in the rural segment, while exports also slump. Tata Motors delivers its best ever quarter for EV sales, although commercial vehicle sales remain subdued. Aisha's Royal Enfield sales comfortably beat street estimates. The mega banking merger is finally complete as HDFC folds into HDFC Bank from the 1st of July. The merged financial behemoth now commands a market cap bigger than Morgan Stanley and ranks 4th in terms of global equity market capitalization. Senior Nationalist Congress Party leader Ajit Pawar takes oath as the second Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Reports suggest he has the backing of 40 MLAs and 8 members of the Legislative Council. NCP Chief Sharad Pawar denies support to the rebels and says he remains the face of the NCP. Good morning in the Mumbai News Centre. I'm Sonal Bhutra. You're watching Power Breakfast. A fresh new week. It's a Monday morning. We do have a lot of global cues to talk about as well and our own cues. But first up, as always, let's take a look at what the Asian markets are doing. Largely mixed in trade despite a strong handover that we got from Wall Street, where we do have strong moves coming in for the Hang Seng market, which is up around 300 points. The Taiwanese index is up around 165 points as well. We do have the Nikkei, which is high by 1.5%. So across the board, it is looking good as far as the Asian markets are concerned, barring Straits Times, which is lower in trade as we speak. We did get the Caixin data right now, and that suggested that the Chinese economy grew slower in the month of June. So that is one of the macro data that we are looking at. But let's go across and talk about GIFT Nifty, because GIFT Nifty is replacing SGX Nifty now, and that one is indicating a higher start for the Indian markets, comparing it with Friday's Nifty futures close, and that one is trading at a premium as we speak. So 19,354 on the GIFT Nifty right now. So that's a new transition that we are talking about. But let's go ahead and talk about the U.S. markets. Wall Street ended Friday's trading session higher, with the Dow Jones surging over 280 points, while the S&P 500 and Nasdaq Composite settled with strong gains of over 1%. The 3 major averages also notched winning weeks, gaining more than 2% each. Apple's market cap closed above $3 trillion for the first time ever on Friday. This is the second time Apple has hit the $3 trillion market cap, but the first time it held onto the market through the close. Tesla tops expectations as price cuts and manufacturing ramp up lift deliveries in the second quarter. Deliveries, in fact, rose over 80% year over year for the company. Okay, let's also listen into some important voices on rate hikes expectations and the way forward for the U.S. markets.
They should hike. In fact, Chair Powell told us yesterday that a majority of the FOMC expects at least, he used the word at least, 2 more hikes. So if they are serious about 2%, they should hike. Because the Fed was late, inflation has gotten embedded in the service sector. And to get to inflation in the service sector via interest rate, you undermine the goods sector. So that is the trade-off they need to make. They want to maintain optionality right now. That's why they paused at the last meeting. But let's hope that's not the muddled middle, because getting to service inflation is tricky.
Meanwhile, getting you some more global updates, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen will head to Beijing for a 3-day visit starting Thursday. She will hold discussions with senior officials on a series of macroeconomic and financial issues. Deepening of communication between the two countries is also on the agenda. Okay, that's the global market action, but how will these overnight cues impact our own markets? We have our research team joining in to tell you just that. The trade setup, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. Hey guys, a very good morning to all of you. Let me go across to Vivek first up, joining in with what the market setup is looking like today. Hey Vivek.
Well, good morning. It's a fresh start. It's a new week. It's the second half of 2023. And, this time around, we'll no longer be talking about the SGX Nifty, rather it's the GIFT Nifty, like we've been mentioning. And the GIFT Nifty, starts off on a record note. first half, all of the Indian indices, the Nifty, Nifty Bank, Nifty Midcap, all of these ended at lifetime highs. The Qs too overnight are very strong. So looking at the US markets, all of the US markets ended in the green and posting very strong first half. In fact, the Nasdaq gained over 31% for the first half of the year. Along with that, some positive flow coming in from Tesla as well, given the fact that the company has delivered a very strong production and delivery numbers, beating expectations, leading to a further rally as far as the US markets itself are concerned. Both European markets too ended with gains, and oil prices continued their fourth straight quarterly decline. But now coming to the Indian markets, like we mentioned, trading near lifetime highs, the key question now is that whether this particular rally can sustain post Q1 as well. Now talking about some of the key trends, number one, auto sales numbers. Most of the heavyweights have declared their auto sales for the month of June. Maruti, Hero, Escort, Tata Motors, Eicher Motors, all of them will react to these numbers. Quarterly updates coming in from key companies as well. So Ultratech Cement, CSB Bank, Karur Vysya Bank, all of them posted their quarterly updates. Watch out for Ultratech Cement, good set of numbers, good volume growth, as well as market share gains. And lastly, watch out for primary market activity trends as well in this particular week itself. Idea Food signs of very strong subscription, and a couple of other smaller SME companies too coming to get onto list to the bourses.
Okay, thank you so much. So a lot of action in the primary markets as well. But of course, the big news is that the SGX Nifty has now transitioned to the GIFT Nifty index. All futures trading on the SGX Nifty will be routed through the GIFT Nifty. Yash is joining us now from Gandhinagar to tell us more about the new index and what it could mean for investors. Yash.
Well, Sonal, it's essentially time to say goodbye to SGX Nifty and hello to GIFT Nifty. But is it just the name that changes? Absolutely not. Because starting today, what will happen is all futures trade on Nifty, which were placed on SGX Nifty earlier, will be routed to GIFT Nifty, this exchange NSE IFSC here in GIFT City of Gandhinagar. Not just that, the settlement and the matching of these trades, like you can see on the screen behind me, which is currently ongoing, will also happen here at the NSE IFSC index exchange under SGX India Connect IFSC or SGX ICI. Now, as far as the trading hours are concerned, 21 hours of trading each day. The first session between 6:30 a.m. to 3:40 p.m. and the second session from 5 p.m. to 2:45 a.m. In total, about 21 hours. What does this entail? As far as the transition is concerned, $9.5 billion of open interest makes its way to GIFT Nifty. Also, the management expects $1.5 to $2 billion of average traded daily volume as far as GIFT Nifty is concerned. As far as GIFT Nifty and the products are concerned, in this series, there would be 4 products which will be traded. First one, GIFT Nifty 50, then GIFT Nifty Bank Nifty, then GIFT Nifty IT, and financially, GIFT Fin Nifty. As far as who can trade and who cannot trade is concerned, retail Indian investors are still kept out of trading as far as GIFT Nifty is concerned. But as far as people who can trade are concerned, Indian brokers and subsidiaries can sign up funds, high net worth individuals, non-residents, Indians, family-owned offices, and they can take proprietary as well as client-based trades towards this particular route.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Yash, for joining us from Gandhinagar and giving us all those details. So that's about GIFT Nifty. But let's talk about some stocks that will be in focus as well. Surbhi has that list. Hey, Surbhi.
Good morning, Sonal. So first on my radar is Reliance. Reliance and BP commenced production from the third deepwater field in India's KG D6 block. Next is Vedanta. The board considered and approved the strategic review of steel and steel raw materials business. A lot of Q1 business updates coming in. NMDC, their production was up 20% for Q1 and the sales volume was up 45% on a year-on-year basis. Ultratech, the total Q1 sales volume was up 20% on a year-on-year basis. Mazgaon Dock, the Defence Ministry signs a contract worth 27-25 crores. And lastly, a lot of auto companies will be in focus as their monthly sales numbers are out.
Oh, yes, that's a long list as well. Thank you, Surbhi, for all those stocks that are on our radar today. Let me go across to Mangalam, joining in with all the cues from the FNO space. Hey, Mangalam.
Good morning. So as we kickstart a fresh new week, the market's record run continues. In fact, on Friday's trading session as well, the Nifty scaled new peaks. 19,200 is where it touched and closed just below that. The Nifty, Nifty Bank, and the mid-cap index, all of them ending at a record high. And this morning, it's a gift that has been given to us by the GIFT Nifty itself. It is a positive start. So that is something we will be watching out for going forward. What stood out on Friday's trading session with the way cash markets were buoyant. The FIs pumped in almost 6,400 crores. The DIs around 1,200 crores, taking the overall inflow closer to the $1 billion mark, notwithstanding a lot of the bulk deals that took place out there as well. But this was money in our markets nevertheless. And there was a lot of money in index futures as well. 1,540 crores added by the FIs. And this is day one of July series itself. And they added about 17,000 long contracts to the tune of just around 680 short contracts. So as a result of which, their overall long contracts, which are around 52, 53,000 at the start of the series, have jumped all the way up to 72,400, and 69% of the FII positions are now on the long side. The other thing that stood out was the massive put writing that we saw, and this is again day one of a new series itself. So just 2.2 lakh calls written, versus that we have 3.5 lakh puts written, and the calls that were written were close to around 19,200. We saw a lot of writing at the 19,100 put for a premium of 50 odd rupees. 19,200 call and 19,300 calls were extremely active as well. So what does the option action suggest? Well, the Nifty range is support coming in at 19,000, 19,050. Congestion at 19,270 and 19,330. Important point to watch out for: the put call ratio closer to 1.6 is overstretched, so it will be perhaps prudent to wait out the first hour of the SGX Nifty opening and watch out for buy only levels closer to 1950, 19,000 itself. A bunch of stocks which saw a long position build up, and then we also saw a lot of shorts added on MCX on Friday.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Thanks, Mangalam, for all those F&O cues. With that, we'll slip into a break. Up next, we'll get you excerpts from our conversation with CBIC Chairman Vik Johri on account of the GST completing 6 years. Welcome back. Well, as we reported over the weekend, the new indirect tax regime completed 6 years on Saturday. Now let's get you the latest on the GST mop-up. The government's goods and services tax collection for June crossed the 1.6 lakh crore rupee mark. This is the third highest monthly mop-up since the GST regime came into force in 2017. At rupees 1.61 lakh crore, the GST collected in June is nearly 20% higher on a year-on-year basis and about 3% higher than the mop-up in May. On the sidelines of an event to mark 6 years of goods and services tax, my colleague Shivani Bazars caught up with Vivek Johri, who is the chairman of the CBIC, and began by asking him about the next phase of reforms. Listen in to what he had to say.
I think it requires some more consultation with the industry. Some of the measures have been discussed internally, and we will take a call in the coming week about whether to place them before the council. But some of the other measures, we are still having consultations with the industry. So we've had one round. We've shared some of the suggestions with them, and we're awaiting their feedback. So that.
How's the drive going? Because it's in the last leg now, the 2-month drive. What are the can you shed some light on the numbers?
The drive is going rather well, and it's a combined thing of the centre and the states. And we had identified, a certain number of taxpayers who had to be verified, 6,000 to begin with, and almost 5,000 out of those have been verified. And we find that about 25% have turned out to be bogus. So I think that's a good hit rate. And when the drive comes to an end, we'll take a call about whether we need to continue with it, given our success rate, and given the fact that we still hear of cases of fake billing and fake ITC.
So also in terms of the action taken against these entities, is there a formulation, has there been some action against these entities that you have identified?
So the fake entities, by definition are those that don't exist. So the one good way to deal with them is to purge them from the system. So we either suspend or cancel their registrations, because the principles of natural justice demand that we give them an opportunity to explain their case. But in most cases, there's nobody who turns up. So we just go ahead and cancel their registration and clean the database of our taxpayers by doing that.
So last GST Council also discussed the GST Appellate Tribunal. Is that also something, the blueprint has been in the pipeline for a while. Is there something that is going to be discussed in this meeting as well?
Look, the GST Tribunal was discussed at the last council, but the legal changes that it entails were finalized. If you recall, in the Finance Act of 2023, provisions have already been incorporated in the CGST law for putting in place a tribunal. Corresponding amendments have to be made in the SGST laws. Those are currently underway because different states have, different times at which their legislative assemblies meet. So it's only when both of us are ready with the base law that we'll go into the issue of constituting the tribunal.
But sir, is there a timeline, tentative timeline?
Likely to happen by later this financial year, but I see it happening within the financial year.
Okay, it's time for a short break now. When we return, senior NCP leader Ajit Pawar joins hands with the BJP and Shiv Sena government and takes oath as the second Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. More on that when we return. Welcome back. As promised, let's focus on the big political story from this weekend. Senior NCP leader Ajit Pawar rebelled against the party's top brass and joined hands with the BJP Shiv Sena government in Maharashtra. Ajit Pawar took oath as the state's second deputy chief minister on Sunday. In fact, he has even called a meeting of NCP MLAs at his official residence today. My colleague Sandhya is joining us to get us up to speed with all the developments. Sandhya, tell us more.
So it was last year that we were covering a similar issue in Maharashtra only, and at that time we were talking about and we were covering the split in Shiv Sena. It was on 30th of June that Eknath Shinde, who rebelled against Uddhav Thackeray, and he was sworn in as Maharashtra's chief minister. It's actually slightly a few days above the 1 year, but here we are, and now we are covering and we are talking about a split in NCP, another big regional party in Maharashtra. Now, yesterday was an eventful day. Ajit Pawar took 8 NCP MLAs along with him, rebelled against Sharad Pawar, and was sworn in as Maharashtra's Deputy Chief Minister for the third time since November 2019. Now, you spoke about a meeting which is going to happen today, and that is the most important development which is likely to take place today. So this is a meeting which Ajit Pawar has called, and he has asked all the NCP MLAs to remain present in the meeting. The reason this meeting is important because Ajit Pawar has said that it's not just these 8 MLAs. He has the support of all the NCP MLAs, and they are going to join soon. So this will show if the other MLAs, it will be interesting to see if more MLAs attend Ajit Pawar's meeting, if they join hands with him. If that's the case, it will be absolutely similar to what happened with Shiv Sena. Last night, late in the night, Jayant Patil of NCP said that the party is going to take an action against those who have rebelled. In yesterday's press conference, Ajit Pawar claimed that he has support and blessings of all the senior leaders of NCP. He did not name Sharad Pawar, but he said that he has the blessings and support of all the senior leaders and MPs and MLAs of NCP. But Sharad Pawar said that he did not get any call from Ajit Pawar. So it will be interesting to see how many more MLAs will join hands with Ajit Pawar.
Okay, it is a developing story, and of course we'll keep coming back to you, Sandhya, for more updates on this one. But for now, we'll take your leave on this edition of Power Breakfast. But do stay tuned. Bazaar Morning Call will come up next.